Good morning everyone. Welcome to the 247. My name is Neharika Valia and मैं आज आपके साथ में हूँ for the area of JAIIB and we'll be covering the area of accounting today, AFB. So let's continue. Okay. हमारा जाइब के अंदर एट दिस पॉइंट ऑफ टाइम एएफपी के बैचेस शुरू हो चुके हैं. द बैचेस had started on July 2022, July 11th, and the batches are continuously going on. At the same time, another English batch would be coming up on 25th of July. So these two batches for AFP are currently going on, and the batches timing are between 8 to 9 and the other one is from 6 a.m. to 9 p.m. So all these batches are there for all the aspirants who are preparing towards the examination. So before we continue, kindly let me know, am I audible as well as visible? Okay, so let's continue with this. When we talk about the AFB batch, at this point of time, this is the English medium batch which has started already, and we have got the code. Whenever you're looking forward to this, why should you look forward to this? First of all, you get a video course, which is basically a live course. In case you are not able to attend the live class, then you can also have the recorded class. For that, we also provide the ebooks as well as the test series, so that anybody who's looking forward to the preparation in a proper and conclusive manner, you can look forward to the ebooks as well as the test series. And when we look forward to the entire JAIIB AFB plan, you can also look forward to the study plan which is available on the website of Adda 247. So there you can find out how we are going to cover the entire process of the examination in terms of the syllabus, how many days it will take and how we are going to cover it up. Along with that, if you look forward to this course, what you can do is you can use the code Y538 to avail the discount of 78%. 77% is there on the website. If you go through the app, then you can get the discount of up to 78%. So if you haven't reviewed the JAIIB new batches yet, then kindly go ahead and check it out. It is available on the Adda 247 app as well as on the website. So all you can do is you can use the code Y538. This is the code that you can use for availing the discount. So let's continue. Okay, so when we talk about this examination, as you guys know, we have started with the series. So every day we are getting 10 questions for this particular series. So let's move on and understand the accounting concepts there. Okay. The first question says that it is a subfield or branch of accounting which is concerned with the presenting of accounting information in a manner that helps the management and planning and controlling the operations of the business and in a better decision making. Is it financial accounting, cost accounting, management accounting, or decision making accounting? When we talk about the financial accounting, this kind of accounting is basically done in order to record the financial transactions. That means we look forward towards the performance of the organization in terms of their profit, their losses, their balance sheet. So that's what the financial accounting focuses upon. While we talk about the cost accounting talks about the manufacturing cost that has been incurred and how we are going to determine the price of the products that we are making up. Then we have something called the management accounting. This kind of accounting is done in order to record the decision making. That means when we talk about, for example, the management has been thinking that plan A would be better and plan A provides us a better opportunity to grow. Plan A is the project A and we can take up the plan B or the project B. Which particular project is going to give us a greater opportunity? That is something that we can look forward to. So the one which gives us greater opportunity is the one that we can take up. So then when we talk about this is basically the management accounting. Decision making accounting is not the exact term to be used. So the correct answer is the management accounting. The management accounting is basically that subfield of accounting which is done where the management has to take decisions. Which resource allocation should be done and how it should be done, what should be its amount. So everything is stated there in terms of the planning and controlling the operations of the business for a better decision making, right? So this is about this area. This is for the new syllabus. Thank you. Okay. If you're looking forward towards the area of the module that you can take up for AFB, there what I can say is you should start with the module B. Module A requires a little more base when we talk about the scenario, because this is something that requires a little more time. It is a little more technical. So you can do the accounting part first, make your base for that, and then you can continue with the other area. Okay, so let's look forward to the next question. The next question says that the depreciation, I hope this one's visible properly. Yeah, it's visible. Depreciation on fixed assets is charged on the basis of the expected life of rather than the market value. Then the market value when there is conclusive evidence that there is a business enterprise has limited life. The accounting procedures should be appropriate to expected terminal date of the enterprise. The concept stated here is it's about the depreciation. The depreciation is charged over the expected life rather than the market value. So that's one of the basic things that we do, that we do not charge the value together, or we don't have a specific time period. We just see that the organization is here to stay, the asset is going to be used for so much of time, so we're going to charge the depreciation on the cost of that particular asset. So why do we do that? Is it because of the going concern concept, or the money measurement concept, cost concept, or dual aspect concept? Go ahead. When we talk about this concept, why do we divide the entire life of an asset in such a way? We divide the life of an asset in such a way because we know that it is going to continue. If we look forward towards the life of an asset, if it is for 10 years, we are going to continue taking the depreciation for those 10 years using the SLM method. So you can use the straight line method or the WTV method, all the different methods that has been stated in the depreciation. But why do we do that? We assume that the assets is going to stay, the organization is here to stay. So in this case, the correct answer would be the going concern concept. This concept assumes that the business will continue to operate for a fairly long period of time. That's why we charge the depreciation year by year for that. Okay, let's look forward to the next question. This question is regarding IFRS and GAAP. In IFRS, a provision is an account that records a dash in an entity. In US GAAP, the provision is a dash. So let's take it an or a and a and an. There is no specific thing that is stated there. In IFRS, what happens is the provision is an account that records a or an dash of an entity. Now, this is where we need to understand there's a difference between IFRS and the generally accepted accounting principles by US. This is only in US, and this is the International Financial Reporting Standards. When we talk about the provisions are sort of in terms of the IFRS. These are basically some kind of present liability. The liability that we are supposed to pay, it's certain. So what we do is we're just scared about it. So we use the concept of conservatism there. We are scared that we are supposed to pay this much money. So let's keep the money aside for it. That is conservatism. And when we talk about the GAAP, the generally accepted accounting principles, they use it as an expense. They show it as an expense only. So in this case, the correct answer would be C, present liability and expense. So यहाँ पर आपके पास आ जाता है in terms of IFRS, a provision is an account that records the present liability of an entity, while the recording of the liability is done in the balance sheet. Basically what happens is the provisions are recorded on the liability side of the balance sheet, because we know that we are supposed to pay this much amount of money after a certain period of time. That means we are certain about it and we note it as an expense. But when we talk about this area, in terms of the US GAAP, what they do is a provision is an expense. They note it as an expense. So if they find that provision for income tax is an expense in US GAAP, but the IFRS is going to say no, it's a liability. Because what we do is, if we are supposed to pay the income tax, see, if I have to pay the provision for income tax, I am supposed to pay the income tax. So when I'm going to pay the provision, we are supposed to pay a certain amount of money. It is already decided, pre-decided, but it is to be paid on the date when the taxes are supposed to be paid. So till that time, we note it as a provision, while the US GAAP says no, just record it as an expense and we are sorted with it. Now comes the next question: among the following, which is a valuation account? So this is about the provisions again. So what has happened is, when we talk about the real, personal and nominal accounts, so there are three kinds of accounts as per the British system. So these three kind of accounts were there, but there was one particular thing about it. There was no specification regarding the provisions. It wasn't specified. So what they did was, they introduced another account, and later on basically you will find it in a few of the accounting modules that they specify, no, there is one more kind of accounting which was supposed to be introduced, which wasn't introduced back then. That is the valuation account. So this is another type of account which basically notes down the provisions, because in the British approach, real, personal, nominal, the provisions had no place to go to. So when we talk about this account, now it should be clear what should be the answer to this question. Number one is bad debts, number two is patents, number three is accumulated depreciation, and number four is advertisement suspense. This one is an expense. This one is an intangible asset. And advertisement suspense is a deferred revenue expenditure. So there's only one particular thing which clearly goes into the area of valuation account, that is accumulated depreciation. So let's quickly understand what is accumulated depreciation. In terms of accumulated depreciation, it is paired with the assets. Basically what we do is that whatever the depreciation is, it is collected together and it is accumulated. So basically what happens is that from the fixed assets we reduce the depreciation, and then we get the current WDV of that particular asset. Right? So if you ask me, ma'am, what is the value of your asset? I said, I bought it for 10 lakhs and now till date, the depreciation charged on it is 4 lakhs. So what will you say? Ma'am, okay, then in this case, what is the current value? Then I'll say, as per the information, the current value will come out to be 6 lakh. As 4 lakh goes into the depreciation, it is already gone. Remaining is left. Now this 4 lakh, as per the British approach, is a valuation account. Now when we talk about this account, this was not stated in their approach. It was later on added in order to fix up all these provisions somewhere. So discounts that is payable on the bonds, discount on bonds payable, premium on bonds payable, these are also there something. Okay? This is about the provisions. Now let's talk about the next question. It says that suppliers' personal account are seen in the sales ledger, nominal ledger, purchases ledger, or general ledger. Say suppliers are those people who would have given credit or purchases to you. That means for them, you are basically a sale on credit, and we have got some goods, and those goods are something that we have bought on credit. Then I'll say that I'll pay you later on. So I'll be paying later on. That means in this case, I'm going to choose point number C, that is purchases ledger. Right? That is the answer. Whatever purchases you make, there's a specific account for that. And that is a suppliers. Every supplier is noted in the purchases ledger account. Now, let's understand one more question that says the Apollo Marketing Company provides advertising services to an investment company in 1 year, in year 1, but receives the advertising fee in year 2. Now, this is where you need to understand there is basically applicability of one of the concepts of accounting. The Apollo Marketing Company recognizes this revenue in year 1. they have seen that the expense was incurred. Okay, now in this case for Apollo Marketing Company, they are supposed to receive the money in year one. But what happened is the other company which was supposed to pay them for their services has paid them in year two. They didn't pay year one, they paid in year two. So in this case, when they paid in year two, this action of Apollo Marketing Company is justified by business entity, revenue recognition, economic entity, or going concern concept. What would be the answer in this case? Business entity, revenue recognition, economic entity, or going concern. The correct answer here is revenue recognition. This particular amount belongs to the first year only. It doesn't belong to any other year because it belongs to only that particular year. It is year one's money. If we look forward to the basis, it is basically on the accrual basis. The amount was due in the first year only, though it was paid in the next year. So in this case, there is no point saying that since it was it was paid in the second year, it should be recorded as per that. No, since the services was given in the first year, it has to be recorded in that first year only. Now, there comes the next question. Entries for the prepaid expenses, outstanding expenses, and the depreciation are called as. Are these adjustment entries, transfer entries, closing entries, or rectification entries? Starting with the rectification entries, these are those entries when we have made some mistakes and we are going to clarify them or we're going to clear them. Closing entries are made while we are closing the books of accounts. Transfer entries are made when we are closing a specific account and then we are transferring that amount to somewhere else. And the adjustment entries are those entries when we are just about to close the books. So we realize that certain things aren't recorded yet in terms of the journal. So now we are going to do that in terms of the final accounts. Those entries are called adjustment entries. So prepaid entries, outstanding entries, depreciation, these are all called adjustment entries. Therefore, the entries passed for the adjustment is known as the adjustment entries, right? Okay. Now let's look forward to this. This is something which I just told you about, that the organization is always risk averse. They're always scared of it. So what they do is they anticipate the losses, but they do not anticipate the profits. So the concept of conservatism when applied to the balance sheet results in understatement of assets, overstatements of assets, overstatement of capital, or overstatement of income. So what would be the answer here? The concept of conservatism when applied to the balance sheet. See, the point is now as soon as the conservatism is applied, whatever amount we had, we were anticipating the losses. So we made a provision out of it that maybe the debtors might not pay. So there's a problem that maybe we might face the bad debts. So if we can face the bad debts, so let's make a provision out of it. This means our debtor might be at that point of time rupees 1 lakh. But I have said that, see, I don't trust the 10,000 rupees debtors. They might not pay us properly. So just keep the good debts at 90,000. That means the valuation of the asset is not kept at its original value. We are reducing it. So that means we are basically understating that particular asset. Maybe we'll receive the money, maybe we won't, but the point is that we are going to make that particular provision now because we know that we might lose the money. So it's always better to be prepared for that scenario. That means understatement of asset is the correct answer. It is basically because of the conservatism principle, right? Now let's look forward to the ninth question. This is basically a kind of riddle for you. The fixed assets of the company is double of the current assets and half of the capital. If the current assets are of rupees 3 lakh and the investments are of rupees 4 lakh, calculate the current liabilities assuming that there are no other items in the balance sheet. Now in this case, what are they saying? Let's make up the balance sheet first, right? That will help you to understand what is the question saying. The fixed asset of the company is double the current assets. Okay, the fixed assets are going to be double of the current assets. Do we have the information? Yes, we have the information. The current assets are of 3 lakh rupees and we have some sort of investments as well, and the investments is of rupees 4 lakh. So we have got 7 lakh assets over here, but the fixed assets are basically double of the current assets. That means the fixed assets is of 6 lakhs, right? So in this case, what happens here is this is double of it, and then at the same time they say that it is half of the capital. So that means it is basically something, fixed asset is going to be the double and of the current assets, and half of the capital is going to be reduced further. It is going to be reduced further, and now they're asking about calculate the current liabilities. What would be the current liabilities? If in this case, what's happening is current assets is turning out to be the base. If this is the base, then the capital is going to be, okay, the fixed assets of the company is double of the current assets and half of the capital. The fixed assets is going to be the base for the capital again. The riddle says that the fixed assets of the company is double of the current assets. That means it is twice of the current assets, but it is half of the capital. So, since we do not have the capital, fixed assets, whatever the amount is, we have to convert it into twice of it. Then we get the particular area of capital. The capital comes out to be 12 lakh here, and the remaining amount will be what? The remaining amount will be our current liabilities, because they've said it that we do not know about the current liabilities. Rest is something that we all know. As you know, the balance sheet shall always match. So if it should always match, it comes out to be 13 lakh here, and here it would be again 13 lakhs. So there it comes out to be 1 lakh, and total is basically the current liabilities of this organization is 1 lakh. This is how you can solve this particular question. This was given 3 lakhs and this is twice of it, and it is going to be twice of fixed assets. The current liabilities is again of 1 lakh. So it comes out to be 13 lakh all in all. Now comes the last question for the day. Out of the following statements, identify the wrong statement. Just have to identify the wrong statement. Real and personal accounts are transferred to the balance sheet. Number 1. Nominal accounts are transferred to the profit and loss account. Cash account is not opened separately in the ledger. Or rent account is a personal account and outstanding rent is a nominal account. Among the following, which is a wrong statement? Among the following, the wrong statement is the last one. Rent is not a personal account. It's basically an expense. It is a nominal account. While when we talk about the outstanding rent, it is basically a representative account, representative personal account, because we are supposed to pay a certain person a certain amount. So it is still pending. So it's basically somewhere down the line, if we talk about the American approach, we can call it a liability there. But here it is going to be a person representative account. So in this case, the correct answer, that means the wrong statement among these 4 is D. That rent account is not a personal account. It is basically an expense, and outstanding rent is basically something which we call a representative, personal representative account. So it's basically a personal account. So this is the end for the day. But if you're looking forward to the JAIIB classes and you're looking forward to any kind of courses for the same, what you can do is you can go to the Adda 247 app, or you can also visit our website. There you will get all the details regarding the JAIIB and CAIIB classes, and at the same time you can avail up to 78% of discount by using the code Y538. So that is where you can pursue for the JAIIB classes. The batches have already started. English medium batch has started on 11th of July, and currently we're going to just about to start with another batch on 25th. So hurry up and register yourself for these classes so that you can pursue with the preparation in a proper manner. The study plans are also available. You can also review the further details of the plans on the website. Thank you. So we'll be meeting in the next class tomorrow at the same time. Thank you.